I think they had sex. Haley is all like, last night was great.
Weird.
And then Jacob's like, yeah, we stayed up kind of late last night. It's like, what the heck is going on here? Hey guys, welcome to our channel. If you're new, if you are not new, thank you for returning. I am Suga, this is
Spice.
And today we will be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 16. But before we do that, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll get notified whenever we do a new review or a new video. Also, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Suga and Spice 88. All right, let's get this over with quickly. So the first couple on the docket is Haley and Jacob. If you remember from the previous episode, Haley woke up and Jacob was just gone. So Haley goes home to Jacob, and Jacob's just on the couch chilling, kicking it, feet up, good old time. And she's like, hey, what the frick happened? And he's like, oh, well, you know, my neighbor was watching my dogs and he had to go to work. So, you know, I didn't want to leave him by himself. So I decided I was just going to come back. She's like, okay, I get that. But yeah, in her confessional, she's like, I wish he would have, you know, just said that. He could have just communicated that. That could have been a note or a text or a phone call, something. You know, just disappear. But I don't know. That was weird.
Okay, so Haley meets up with her friend, and Haley's friend has been communicating with Haley throughout this whole process. And Haley's friend asks her, you know, what are some challenges that you have had? And Haley goes through her red flags. She says her first red flag is the fact that he's 38, about to be 39, and he's still single, never been married, no kids, no nothing. Second red flag is that he's been in Atlanta for 10 years. And for the past 10 years, he couldn't come up with anything that he said that he's been up to, has been, you know, doing. It's just been 10 years of nothing in her eyes. And her last red flag, which I believe is very valid, is that she does not understand his humor. He doesn't understand her humor. And so for that, they're not too compatible. So then her friend says, you know, what do you like about him? What are some good things about him? Good qualities that make you guys, you know, compatible. And she says, you know, pretty much he's a good dog dad. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. At the end of the day, Haley and Jacob, they're just, the pros, the cons definitely outweigh the pros. The last scene that we have with Haley and Jacob is apparently they stayed up all night talking about decision day. And something happened. We don't know what happened, but Jacob goes to his confessional and he says that he is looking forward to trying to make this work with Haley.
I think they had sex. Haley is all like, last night was great.
Weird.
And then Jacob's like, yeah, we stayed up kind of late last night. It's like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah. It's like the day before decision day. So, I mean, this is a toss-up, but in reality, what I think should happen is that they're both going to say no.
I would hope so. Yeah. Honestly, because you guys have hit the reset button 10 times, and then literally the next day you'll always have an argument and be like, yeah, it's just not going to work out. So, yeah, you might have had sex last night, but then what about tomorrow?
Right.
So then we cut scene to Virginia and Eric. Virginia and Eric are sitting down having a conversation. Virginia says they're doing better in their marriage because they get to the making up a lot faster when they argue. Eric says to kind of add to that basically, well, in reality, we've only known each other for 2 months. We still have a lot to learn, you know, and in his confessional, he just says that he doesn't want to argue with her. He doesn't want to fight with her. He just really wants them to be in a good spot. Eric then FaceTimes his friend, and his friend is asking him, you know, how the marriage is going, and basically does he see him sticking with Virginia for the long haul. And Eric basically says, yeah, you know, we're just everybody's just lying this whole episode. Yeah, we're just so great and everything, you know. I mean, yeah, you know, we still got some issues that we need to work on, but it's just, you know, it's cool.
He gives a little half truth. He says that they do start to talk about issues, but then they never get resolved. But then he tries to clean it up and says, I talk to her and I tell her things and I just need to work on the way I say things. But I've gotten a lot better at how I say things to her. But, we're almost past that. And then they go to this flashback of what the issue really is. And the issue is not your tone or some of the words, the specific words you choose to say when you speak to her. Your issue is that you give ultimatums. You are extremely rude and disrespectful. You are bossy as hell. You make sure to make her feel as little as possible and try and control every single thing that she does. But to your friend is, just some words. I gotta watch the way I use my words. So then we cut to Virginia, and she is hanging out with one of her guy friends, and she's talking to him about the marriage. She says that she feels as though they are still getting used to figuring out how marriage is going to work for them as a couple specifically. Virginia also talks about how they are continuously, almost every day, fighting and making up. And to the point to where she feels like, it's dysfunctional. And it's a big red flag for her. And she's just weary about having that kind of relationship going forward after decision day. Then this is where Virginia, you completely lost me. She talks about wanting to go out. And if he doesn't want to go out, she wants to still have the option of going out without him. And it's just, I don't know what she wants. I don't know if she just wants a friend that is around for companionship or she actually wants a husband. So then Erica and Virginia go to dinner, and Eric is fawning all over Virginia. He's telling her how beautiful she is, how perfect she is, how much in love he is with her. And Virginia is just like,
okay, girl.
Listening. And Eric starts crying, and she's just not even phased at all.
He's telling her, my biggest fear is to be alone, and I don't know what I'd do without you. Like, just professing his love, and she's just like, oh, okay.
Nice to know.
Cool, yeah, sure. Pulled a Ryan on him.
So then they go into how Eric is saying that he just really doesn't want to be disrespected. How he says he opened up to her about that, and he just would really like some of his feelings and how he feels to be taken into consideration when she's making decisions. I mean, I don't feel like Eric is all the way wrong, but I still do feel like Eric is still pretty controlling, and this situation between them is never going to change because she's really holding on to this idea that she has to have guy friends that she goes out with every single or every other weekend with, and that's part of her routine, and she's not going to change it. And Eric is stuck on this. Well, I let you see my phone, and I text you the minute I go somewhere and the minute I leave somewhere, and you need to do that in return. So it's like two completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Eric says that he wouldn't want to do this with anyone else in the world but Virginia, and that she's the best person that he could have possibly ever done this with. And Virginia just hits him with a reality check don't say that you don't know that. And he says, yes, I do. And
she's just she's just full stopping him every time.
Every time.
He starts with the love, professing the love, and she's just like, well, I still got concerns. Oh, okay. Well, nobody else would rather. Yeah, but what about I just feel like she's just over it. She's over the arguing. She's over trying to put her foot down and make him see her way and the back and forth. So she's just like, I think I'm done here. I might possibly be done here. I feel like Eric is just doing the most and fawning all over her and going crazy and just being super accommodating because he just feels like, is she slipping away? Are you about to leave right now?
I really think it's just his ego. I really think that he does not want her to say no on decision day. And even let's say they don't work out in marriage, he's just like, please just don't say no on decision day in front of millions of people that are watching the show. But I feel like Virginia is like waking up and she's like, I don't care about what's going on and these people. I actually care about the marriage and I'm going to do what I want to do.
Because she knows it's only temporary. It's been temporary the whole time.
Yeah.
He's all romantic one day and then the next day, he's Eric.
It's ultimatum time. She brought up soulmates and then she was just like, yeah, I don't believe in soulmates, but I believe in fate. And she pretty much said, like, she tried to call him out, like, wasn't your ex-wife your soulmate at one point? I was just like, okay, Virginia's done. She ain't here for Eric no more. The end of the scene with Eric and Virginia, when she pretty much said, I'm going to do what I need to do in order to make the right decision for me. I was like, okay, Virginia's not playing with you. And I really think she might say no on decision day. And if she does, it'll be the right decision.
So next we cut to Vincent and Bree. Vincent and Bree are laying in bed and they're talking about decision day. So Vincent says, well, we know who's gonna break up and who's gonna stay together. And Bree's like, not really. You never really know. We don't know. So then Bree basically says, like, yeah, you just never know. You know, sometimes things change, feelings change over time. Like, you know, for example, when we first started together, I felt like it really bothered me that you're so disorganized. And then I felt like, you know what? Maybe that's something I can help him with. Bree, just, girl,
it's the passive aggressiveness. It's the underhandedness about it. It's the demeaning tone under it. Like, just stop talking to people like that.
Bree does the Eric where it's like, I'm the status quo.
Yeah.
I am here. I need you to get up here.
Yeah.
You're not meeting where I think you should be.
Yeah.
I am the standard. But who told you that?
Yeah. And then to just bring it up as if it's something that doesn't bother you when clearly it bothers you. Like, oh yeah, it's okay that you're super messy and annoying, but I'll just deal with it. Like, you're not dealing with it.
Okay.
You're actually insulting me. And you're bothered.
She just said it so nonchalantly.
And now I'm pissed off.
So then he said, well, you know, and this I feel like was a tit for tat move. And he says, well, you know, I feel like you need to work on you being so bossy.
Not the B word. Y'all know that word is banned. Y'all know ever since like the first week of marriage, when he said bossy, and then they had a conversation, he was not allowed to say that word ever again.
We ain't heard bossy in how long?
We heard other words, but not bossy. Now, week 7.
Now she's bossy again.
Because you're pissed off.
So then he says that, you know, truth be told, now the truth won't come out. Oh, now truth be told, when your family said you were bossy on the wedding night, that turned me off. Because he threw another, he was just like, draw two.
He was here for it.
On the wedding, in addition to that, coming into the process, I told the experts I didn't want somebody direct. I didn't want someone assertive. So basically, in other words, you saying, I ain't want nobody like you.
Oof. She wasn't ready.
And Bree heard it loud and clear.
Yeah.
Because she was hurt. So then Brianna's talking to her mom, and her mom saying, like, you know, are you nervous about decision day? And she said, well, you know, before I wasn't. You know, before I just knew where I was going with this. I knew I was just sure. But now, after that little talk, I don't know nothing. She says that, you know, she shares the conversation that her and Vinny had with her mother. And, you know, she says about him being disorganized and how he said he didn't want anybody direct and bossy. And then her mom says, well, we didn't say you were bossy like in a bad way.
Stop lying, Mom.
See, and this
Be
is why
honest with her.
This is why I feel like Bree is the level of bossy that she is because she probably has no one in her life that actually checks her and be like, yo, this is an actual problem that we're actually annoyed with.
The issue with it is not that you are being direct or assertive. Direct or assertive can be good qualities.
Right.
It can be actually outstanding qualities, especially in a leadership position. But bossy is not a quality that anybody wants to possess, even if you are somebody's boss.
They're like weaving in and out with the words to make them hit less, to make them hurt a little less for Brie. Like, is she director or is she bossy?
But see, this is the thing, and this is where being a parent, you have to take full accountability. If your child is on some BS, call your child out, because guess what? It's going to make the person better in the long run if they're aware of what other people really feel about them. Don't try and sugarcoat it and make it seem like it's adorable, like bossy but loving. No. And I can see why Vincent gets upset about it. I feel like he could handle it better, but I do see why it offends him.
You can tell her family very much tries to sugarcoat it with the, first you said she was bossy, now it's just because you're directing, you know what you want. That is not the same thing as being bossy. Knowing what you want or being assertive is not being bossy. It's not one and the same. You guys are trying to mince words to make it a little less, make her feel a little better about herself. Like, no.
I just want to know, when did caring about somebody and loving somebody have anything to do with telling them everything they want to hear? Like, give me the truth. Give me the honest truth.
Which is,
because it could save my marriage.
Which is
just tell me the truth.
It's interesting that she ends up with Vincent, because he basically does the same thing to her. Like, he doesn't voice his opinions fully about her. He doesn't communicate that there's a real issue
until you piss him off. Now he wants to come for your throat.
And now the truth come out. He wants to sing like Jennifer Hudson.
So, like, what is going on here? And then to end it off, and I don't even think that's something that you will change about yourself, Brianna. So if he can't handle it, then we're just going to have to let him go. What are you talking about? The same way Vincent needs to work on how he needs to not be so easily triggered and embarrassed. She needs to work on how she speaks to people. I understand you don't mean to be disrespectful, but that doesn't mean it's not disrespectful.
You can catch yourself and be like, you know what?
Yo,
he is a grown man.
Literally. For your mom to say that's not something that you're gonna change, and then you hear her later on in the episode say that's not something that I'm going to change. It's just the reinforcement of a negative characteristic trait.
She said it as if it was like, she was like, well, you know, he wants me to quit my job as being an engineer and be a stay-at-home mom. And the mom was like, well, if he can't understand that you want to work for yourself and be independent, then he needs to go. It wasn't that type of situation.
Not what happened.
We're talking about being bossy. We switched scenes to Vincent talking to his cousin. And just like Brianna did, he tells his cousin about the conversation that they had that went left. And his cousin's like, so you didn't want somebody direct, so you wanted someone indirect? I'm confused. You wanted somebody to be around the bush with you?
Yeah, because once Vincent says it out loud to his cousin's like, wait,
you sound crazy.
This is not making sense that you would tell the experts that you don't want somebody direct.
If I'm an expert and you're telling me I want someone who's not direct, I would be like, that's an issue right there.
Right.
How y'all gonna talk? How y'all gonna communicate if they're not direct? If they can't be direct to tell you what they want or what they don't like or whatever,
what they need,
how are we gonna get anything accomplished here? Unmatchable. Then, basically he tells him about the bossy thing, and his cousin kind of says the same thing. Brianna's mom says, well, oh, I don't think the family meant it in a bad way. I think they just meant she's the type of person that she knows what she wants. What is there a script? Like, were they in cahoots? What's going on? So then the cousin basically says, like, at the end of the day, it's your decision. You just need to figure out if she is really who you want. Because once those cameras turn off, it's just y'all two.
And that's truth.
So then Brianna and Vincent are at dinner, and Vincent kind of comes out and he's like, yeah, about that conversation. I know I have a tendency to, get overwhelmed or hear something I don't like, maybe necessarily agree with, and kind of just shut down on you. And then Brianna's like, oh, guess, like a little bit of an attitude, girl.
Small one.
Girl. Brianna says that she was hurt by the conversation because he told her that he doesn't like something that is basically her, the essence of her. The fact that he used the word turned off, she said it really bothered her because obviously, you never want to hear your partner say that they're turned off by you in any way or any form. She says she doesn't like the word bossy. She doesn't like the words turned off.
So tell everybody else to stop calling you bossy. And also,
Stop
how about
being
you
bossy.
try that part?
Like,
try to stop being bossy. Try that.
So you're accepting that you are that, but you don't want to be called that.
You want to say that's something that you will not change, but he's not allowed to call you that?
Interesting, girl. She basically goes on to say that, that's just something I don't feel like, I'm going to change. Okay? And I feel like that just went over his head because he was like, it's okay. I know you're working on it. And I was like, she just said she wasn't. She said she wasn't working on nothing. What are you talking about?
So then after dinner, Brianna and Vincent go back to the house. Brianna brings up, I thought you had a surprise for me. They're in bed now. So then Vincent says, you're going to love this surprise. Brianna closes her eyes. Vincent pulls out some scissors and cuts a braid from her hair. Was this supposed to be funny? Was this supposed to be a prank? Was this supposed to be like what is going on? I just cannot put my finger on what is going on in this scene and why it's happening. And I just feel like everything is wrong about it. And so then we cut to the last scene. And Vincent and Brianna are going to sleep in separate places for the day before decision day. And Brianna seems a little bit uneasy about decision day, but Vincent is just making jokes and acting like nothing is going on. And the last thing that Vincent decides to say to Brianna is, it was nice knowing you.
See, that's the passive aggressiveness.
I just don't understand it.
I can't say what my real issues are with you because I'm not direct enough. And so what I'm going to do is take it out on you and because I resent you now. So now we switch over to Ryan and Clara. Clara is in her confessional and she's like, I just feel like we are meant to be. I can't imagine that it would ever work out with anyone else. I'm like, okay, girl. So then Clara asks Ryan, so how do you feel like, you've changed after marriage? How has marriage changed you? And he just says, well, I just feel like I have, more responsibilities now. Most of them are centered around you. I just got new responsibilities. And she's like, I'm a little more intentional with my time, because now I go to bed at like 10:30 hits and I am out of here. They do a flashback to when they first got together and she was trying to convince him to stay up later. And she's like, yeah, because I'll be out here in these streets. I'll be up all night like Lionel Richie all night long. And I need you to be up with me. Now all of a sudden it's, 10:30 is just my perfect bedtime.
But Clara is confused as to why people sit down and toss at her and say, you seem like you're losing yourself. You literally changed your whole daily dynamic centered around what Ryan wants to do. When nothing in your life has changed, no new job, no kids, nothing has changed, just Ryan, and you completely changed your whole schedule, and you wonder why people ask you or tell you, don't lose yourself.
You can tell that Clara is the type of girl that gets a new guy or gets into a relationship or even a situationship and just forgets about herself.
Yeah.
She's just all about this person. She's all about trying to please them, make them happy, be up under their wing and around them all the time. And she's just so involved in everything they got going on until the point where they probably more than likely feel a little smothered.
Yeah.
So then Ryan meets up with his friend And his friend's like, so, how's married life? How's it going? And he's saying, I understand why they matched us. Within 12 hours of knowing Clara, I already knew why they matched us. And he said that, the only thing about Clara is she's just constantly talking about her feelings. Just all the time, every day, talking about her feelings. He was like, sometimes I just want to talk about sports or a movie. So then Clara FaceTimes her friend, and they're talking about decision day. And she says, so do you have any issues with Ryan? Are you guys married? She's, no, everything's perfect. Everything's great. And then they do like a few flashbacks of her talking to Pastor Cal, talking to the girls about all these issues that she has with Ryan. They did a good 3-4 flashbacks, girl. So I don't know what, like I said, people are just lying. I don't know what she's talking about. So then her friend says, well, what if Ryan says no on decision day? Oh, he wouldn't do that. You sure, Clara?
You sure?
You sure he wouldn't do that?
Like, she does talk to Ryan. Ryan says, yeah, I can see myself falling in love with you. And then he says, yeah, I feel like I know exactly why they matched us. And then he says, within the first 12 hours, I saw a connection right away. Like, he does say things to make you think
That's true.
that he's going to say yes. So it's not coming out of nowhere. But then there's other things that are like very clear.
And telling.
Yes, that are not being said or are not happening, as that will make someone probably second guess that he's going to say yes.
I feel like she's actively ignoring those things.
Right.
That's the issue. Ryan asked Clara to take this compatibility test. And they're asking her all types of questions. Do you set goals for yourself? Goals? Oh, no. Do you think deeply about things? No. Like, anything that had to do with, like, being passionate about something or setting goals for the future or thinking about the future, she was just like, ain't nobody thinking about all that.
Nope.
I'm out here right now. What's up? Ryan just looks like he's just like in shock. And I don't know why he's in shock, because when you gave her that big speech about trying to find something that you're passionate about and something you live for, she was like, man, if you don't pass me that jelly donut and be quiet. So then we switch scenes to Ryan and Clara. They're playing some kind of football, bowling. I don't know. And then Ryan is throwing these balls extremely hard.
Yeah.
Like a first round pick quarterback. He just, like, he's firing.
Like, Clara is like not right there. It's like, yo.
Yeah,
why are you shooting darts? Like, relax.
It helps get out the frustration and aggression. What frustration, Ryan? What frustration you got going on? You want to talk about it? Because I thought everything was perfect. What happened? What frustration? So then Clara tells Ryan, I just feel like we are just two puzzle pieces that just fit together perfectly. We're just...
Clara's trying to force it like Eric is trying to force it.
Yes, they're doing the exact same thing. So then Ryan starts telling her how, they have a bond that, they'll never have with anyone else. And she starts to smile, but then she realized that he's talking about them two going through the process.
Right.
Not her as a person and their shared love, but he's basically saying that, because we both went through this unique process together, we have an experience that most people don't have, and so we'll have a shared bond pretty much forever for that. And he's like, no matter what happens on decision day, we'll always have that.
That's what she wanted to hear.
We'll always have married at first sight. She just gets so mad.
Yeah.
And she yells, could you be a little more positive about decision day?
You know what?
And she just storms off. I feel like the reason she got so mad is because she knows, she feels in her spirit that he looking at you like, you know what? I don't think I want you.
I feel like she's mad because he's not giving her the reassurance that she's giving him. Ever since a week ago, I can't wait to say yes on decision day. We're like two puzzle pieces that fit perfectly together. 10 out of 10. Like, you are telling him and giving him all the reassurance of what your answer is going to be. But he is being very, ambiguous about what he's going to say. He's not really 100% clear.
He's super vague. And
yes, and you know what?
Feelings, girl.
You know what? He has that right. Like, just because you want to tell him your answer, don't mean that he needs to tell you his. So
I think she thinks that telling him will make
him. Yeah, she wants it to be reciprocated.
So then we cut to like kind of a weird scene of Clara just ignoring a bunch of red flags again. And, you know, she's just like, yeah, can't wait for decision day so we can spend the rest of our lives together. And he's like, yeah.
Oh my
like
gosh.
She didn't pick up on the energy at all. She just keeps reinforcing the idea of, oh, I just know we both gonna say yes.
Yeah, maybe if I tell him what he's gonna say, I could brainwash him,
and he gonna do it,
making sure that he says.
Are you trying to guilt trip him into being with you?
That part.
Ryan's in the bed behind her, like, I mean, you know, I got a lot of things I need to think about. You know, I'm probably gonna be deep in thought about this whole situation, and you know, he's kind of throwing her hints like, it's not as easy as you think, girl. It's not just gonna be a yes, okay. I still have things that I need to think about. If he tells her no on decision day, her brain is gonna have a malfunction and she's going to shut down. She's not gonna be able to handle it. She's not even considering the thought that it's a possibility that he's gonna say no.
What do you think? You think he'll say no? I think he should say no.
I feel like he should say no. I don't know if he will. It's weird because it's like he's been telling along the way, he's been fake reassuring her that they have a connection, but at the same time still giving her physical cues that it's not clicking the way you think it's clicking. So I that's why it's kind of like a mixed message on whether he'll say yes or not, because now we're getting down to the end and you keep saying things like, well, you know, I got to think about this. And, you know, well, we're talking about the rest of my life. And, you know, it sounds like you're leaning towards a no.
To me, yeah.
I feel like he's probably going to end up saying yes. If he says no, they better have security on there. They better have 11 hip hop security on there because she going to lose it. She going to be spinning around like the Tasmanian devil up in her mouth.
Thank you guys for watching.
One more episode and we're out of here.
Maybe.
Well, we're not out of here, but Married at First Sight is done.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share our video if you can, and hit that notification bell so that you can know when we drop a new video.
Leave your predictions in the comments. What couple do you think is going to stay together? What couples do you think are going to break up?
Yes. I think I left my predictions last episode, but I think I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to say Virginia and Eric is going to be a no. Brianna and Vincent is going to be yes. Haley and Jacob, no. And Claire and Ryan, I want to say yes. I'm going to say yes for them. So, what you think?
I'm like, what if Haley and Jacob be like, yeah.
I don't think so.
Let's do this.
No. I highly doubt it. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Suga and Spice 88. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Good morning. Good energy. Today we gonna spread good energy. Today we gonna share good energy.
I go to work.
Today gonna be a great day. Wake up, thank God, drink water, meditate. Good First energy. 5 minutes will dictate your whole day. All about that positivity and raising up your frequency.